To maybe some of the, like, if we think about, so we talked about the pillars, but if we think about the capability, the features that are included in Microsoft Entra ID governance, certainly these are some of them. And we talk about identity life cycle for employees. When the employee, or the full process when an employee joins the organization, from your HR system to your Entra ID, and then what happens when all that, that provisioning happens. Then all that is part of the identity lifecycle for employees, and then of course identity lifecycle for guests, meaning that if somebody is collaborating with you, maybe you have a business partner, business guest, supplier, a vendor, anybody who you collaborate with, having all those capabilities for self-service provisioning, for making sure that when that last access is removed, then that identity is removed from your organization. So all that life cycle is also part of that. Of course, we talk about access certification, where we support single or multi-stage access recertification for applications, groups, teams, and others as well. All the analytics and reporting for you creating reports that you need for your auditors and things like that as well. Entitlement management and access requests, so managing the life cycle of access requests, putting policies in place when access needs to be expired, when access needs to be reviewed. All that is part of that big capability. All the workflow policy and role management, making sure that um, we have the right checks in place. By the way, something that is very exciting as well, that I will be talking in a few slides, is the integration that we have with verifiable ID. And that is something that also you can incorporate into your processes, where you can make it that simple for maybe a guest onboarding into your organization or a project, uh, providing some of these capabilities. But I'll talk about that a little bit in a minute. And then, of course, all the provisioning and fulfillment, from coming from systems to Entra ID, and Entra ID to the different applications on premises and in the cloud. And then, of course, last but not least, all the privileged access, and making sure that you manage just in time and just enough access, and having all the alerting approval workflows that are needed for this. All this is part of the capabilities that Entra ID governance provides.
And I just want to highlight on something. We talk about identity life. We talked about access lifecycle earlier, the big circle we showed. Identity lifecycle, every organization has, right? So this is typically what you hear is like the join when an employee, contractor, external entity joins the relationship with the company. I'm working with that company. I need to get identity provisioned. I need to get access provisioned. The join event. The move event is when they may exist in the environment, right? They're moving roles. Jeff was a gardener. He now becomes a cafeteria, or he becomes a senior analyst, right? Those roles are not the same. How are you having adaptive, automated ways of managing access? The move event, and then the leave event, right? Somebody has separated from the organization. Maybe they've retired. Maybe they've moved on to a different organization. How do I automate the cleanup of that access? Again, these are all actions every organization is doing, but now we can automate these with workflows, as we'll go into. So very exciting to see this new capability.